We're making keto pecan nut butter. Let's go. There are so many ways to enjoy a nut butter. You can use it as a sandwich spread or a dip. You can also boost the flavors of a sweet pie, or instead of using chocolate, you could use your nut butter to sprinkle over a keto biscuit or a mousse and use your beautifully homemade nut butter instead. I have mostly been using them for a keto bread that's just 3 ingredients, and if you want to check out that recipe, click on this link now. To roast or not to roast your nuts? That is the question. Well, some studies do show that it is harmful to the nutrients in nuts if you do any kind of warming or roasting, and sometimes it could be really harmful, but clearly I'm still alive, I haven't died, and I'm feeling pretty well, so it can't be that bad. Hence, I choose to roast mine, but the choice is totally up to you. Now, this recipe is just 2 ingredients. We are using 256 grams of nuts, and with this recipe, you don't have to just use pecan nuts. You can use any nut of your choice. So first, grease and line a baking tray, and you want to lay your nuts down flat on the surface so they're all in single kind of file. Then I baked at 320 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes, and this is how they turned out. The next ingredient you're going to need is patience, because you will need to grind your nuts down quite finely. I used a NutriBullet. You can use even a coffee grinder or some kind of machine that is going to give you the results that you're after. I did find this part a little tedious, and my NutriBullet is actually brand new, but I still had to use a mortar and pestle for the final pieces. You're going to need to eyeball the next part, because I ended up using just 1 tablespoon of avocado oil and then blended it again, and it came out really smooth. But other times when I haven't roasted nuts, I've needed up to 2 or 3 tablespoons of avocado oil, and then my nut butter was beautifully smooth. For those of you who prefer not to roast your nuts, I did make a butter with unroasted pecan nuts, and this is how they turned out. They are less fragrant, of course, and they are lighter in color, and I did have to end up using a bit more oil. Did I say pecan or pecan?
You said pecan.
I'm sorry for those of you who say it correctly.
How dare you?
But it still makes a beautiful pecan nut butter. With the pecan loaf that I did recently, I didn't even add any oil, and it ended up being a pecan flour sort of, and the bread still came out really great. So you have a range of choices of how you want to prepare your nuts. Regardless, there is nothing more satisfying than having something homemade and you know exactly what's in it, and it's not going to compromise your keto diet. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and get to make your nut butter. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and be well.
This town's so